Y'all, let's get into it. Diddy's own daughters walked out of the courtroom yesterday, crying during graphic testimony. And today, Cassie took the stand and dropped bombshell after bombshell. And according to ABC News, the jury was looking at Diddy in disgust. Literal disgust. The room is shifting, and his legacy is unraveling in real time, right in front of us. Cassie gave it to the court raw. She testified that she was coerced into freak-offs, scripted actual acts involving strangers, rugs, and sometimes cameras. She said she was scared to say no to Diddy because when she did, he'd explode. Violent, controlling, unpredictable. She talked about being dragged and screamed at, manipulated, and isolated. She was young when she started dating Diddy, and he was in his mid to late 30s. Her boss, her label, her head, her entire career. At one point, she said he made her call him Pop Pop, the same name she used for her grandfather. That is not intimacy. That is psychological warfare. She shared that when she was sick, like physically unwell, she was still expected to perform. There was no choice. And the freak-offs, they weren't about pleasure. They were about power. And he controlled where she went, what she wore, when she spoke. This was possession, not a partnership. And baby, ABC News reported the jury was visibly reacting. Frowns, head shakes, face turns. You could feel the judgment in that room. These are vetted jurors, and even they couldn't hide how disturbed they were by Cassie's testimony. The prosecution said Diddy didn't just abuse Cassie. He ran a whole criminal enterprise. Trafficking, racketeering, control over people's lives, bodies, and voices. Meanwhile, Diddy's team is saying this was consensual. Just two adults in a freaky relationship. But let me tell you something. If this was consensual, why are the jurors disgusted and daughters walking out in tears? Let's not overlook this. Cassie didn't have to testify. She already settled her civil case. She could have just disappeared, but she showed up under oath to speak to power. And now the world isn't just watching, the world is finally listening. Now, y'all, stay tuned, stay seated, and stay ready, because the tea in this federal trial and the jury reacting and Diddy's image is collapsing in real time. Diddy is a monster, and he should be painted as one, allegedly. But we know that this man has done all sorts of corrupt things, allegedly, including catching bodies, allegedly. It's time for Diddy to pay up.
I'm just going to say the quiet part out loud about Diddy's children, okay? And y'all can call me crazy, but I stand 10 toes down on what I say. I secretly believe that his kids will be glad to see him locked up in prison. I think they have seen and witnessed way more abuse than we could ever possibly imagine. I believe he's made the boys, we don't even know about the girls, but let me just focus on the boys because they're older. We don't know if he SA'd his sons. We don't know if he pimped them out and turned them into Smex workers and made them sleep with women and men. We don't know what types of trauma these children have been subjected to. Yet they had to put on a happy face in front of the cameras to protect the image of their fathers. I believe once this man is sentenced to life in prison, because I do believe he's never going to see the light of day ever again, I think his children will feel a sense of relief. I believe his children will feel a sense of relief, especially Quincy. People keep asking, why is Quincy, there with him and not with his father, I'll be sure. Quincy is in a very tight spot, y'all. Did you ever think that Quincy has to protect his sisters? Do you ever think that, if Quincy speaks up about his real feelings about his father, excuse me, stepfather, if he really tells people the things that happened to him, if he was traumatized by Diddy, if he witnessed Diddy beating his mother, don't you think if he spoke up, he puts his own life at risk? Don't you think that Diddy put the fear in all his children? So I say his kids are playing along. They're going along with it. He gets life in prison. There's going to be a sense of relief. And before you tell me I'm wrong, how many of you ladies dated a jailbird? I definitely did, and it was the first and last time I will ever do it. And one thing that I noticed, if you date or deal with a man who's been previously incarcerated or is going to be incarcerated, you'll notice that his family plays along to get along just to keep the peace with him. That's why his family will back him up when he's cheating and doing other women dirty. When he abuses women, his family will back him. That's because his family has seen his violent temper. He's turned on his family and abused them, and they don't want that bad side to come out of him. So they will side with him even if he's in the wrong, to play along, to get along with him. And they'll turn on you. They know you're an innocent girl. They know you've been violated, beat, bullied, abused, cheated on by this man, but they're always going to back up their family member. If he's an ex-convict, he's more than likely a sociopath. And those types of men have dysfunctional families, dysfunctional mamas and all that, backing them up on their bullshit, enabling them. So Diddy, his kids don't have a choice. I'm sure he's threatened them in the past and then spoiled them with gifts to make up for the abuse, the love bombing. The same way he does his women, like he did Cassie. He'll blow $500,000 on shopping sprees after he gets done beating her upside her head. You don't think he's done that with his children? You don't think he's bullied them, pimped them out, done horrible things, traumatized them, and then bought them gifts to make up for all the bad things he's done? Those children are traumatized, and we just have not heard their stories yet. Once he's locked up, I think Quincy will come forward. Quincy's got to play it cool. He's got to play it smart. I don't know about Christian. I think Christian is, just like his daddy. Christian might be another abuser in the making. We'll have to see. But I think Quincy's got to play it cool. He's got to protect his sisters right now. And he's probably worried about his own safety if he says something, like most victims that are scared to come forward. Give it some time, give it some grace. And once that man is locked up for good, oh yeah, I hear the children coming forward. They just need to know that he cannot hurt them ever again. And if he's locked up for life, and they become adults, yeah. We'll see. That's just my 2 cents. Baby, I'm going to be dissecting this Diddy Rico case and pointing out, I'm going to give y'all basically a master class on narcissism using Diddy, all his manipulation tactics. Yes, it involves his children. It involves so many people, how he uses people as pawns and tools. He pimps people out. He pimps his children out. So before you get in my motherfucking comment section talking about I'm picking on his children, get the fuck off my page before I block you. Because let me tell you something. I am not bullying his children. However, we are going to discuss on this page how a narcissist, particularly a male narcissist who has daughters, who has children, period, how they use their children for their own perception management. When I tell you he does not love any of his children are pawns. He's pimping his children. He's pimping his women. He pimps everybody. And y'all gonna learn today on this page. And I don't care if you don't like it, don't comment, get off my page, but you will not control me. My mouth triggers narcissistic people. They hate me, but they're not gonna stop me from exposing this manipulative behavior. And there are many of us, including myself, who have co-parented with a narcissist like Diddy. We are trying to raise our daughters to being beautiful young ladies. However, when you co-parent with a man like Diddy, he will go behind your back and objectify his own daughter and turn her into a side chick. He will treat her like a side chick instead of a daughter. And that's where I'm going with this video. Let's proceed, shall we? Now, this photo is of Diddy with his daughter, Chance Combs, and this was the 2022 Oscars, okay? They're on the red carpet, and I just need you to do a Google search. You could do the search right here on TikTok to pull up the video footage. Who is the transgender woman that interviewed Diddy? I forget. Is it Laverne Cox? Is that her name? She interviewed Diddy and Chance on the red carpet. And one thing I wanted to point out in that interview is the way that Diddy was sizing his daughter. He was looking her up and down like she was a piece of meat. I don't care how uncomfortable y'all get. You're not going to silence me. We need to teach women this education about abusive, narcissistic men like Diddy and how these men objectify their daughters. And when I say objectify, they treat their daughters, even teenage daughters, hell, preteen. They will turn their daughter into a side chick. Yes, that baby is innocent. She has no idea her father is using her, pimping her, whatever. She just knows that's daddy. I love daddy. I look up to daddy. But because he's a master manipulator, a womanizer, a man in the closet that secretly despises women, a misogynist, these types of men despise their own daughters and secretly will be pimping their daughters the whole time, and the daughter has no idea. The daughter thinks this is her relationship with daddy. He loves her. Nothing about this is love. Anyway, he and his daughter are on that red carpet, and when I tell you, when Laverne is interviewing him, he is looking Chance up and down like a piece of meat, like his girlfriend, his woman. I have a daddy, and my daddy has told me I look beautiful on this was a long time ago, but I'm gonna tell you something, ladies. There's a difference with how a father is supposed to talk to his daughter and tell her she looks beautiful versus how a man speaks to his woman. If he's taking his woman out on a date and she puts on a sexy dress, he's going to look at her like, damn, baby, you looking fine. You looking good. But he would never use that tone and verbiage and body language with his daughter. There is a difference. There's a thin line. And on that red carpet, Diddy gave Chance that look like, damn, honey, if you wasn't my daughter, tell me if I'm lying. Go watch the video. I say all this to say, ladies, for those of you that are raising a daughter and you have to co-parent with an abusive narcissist, and you're doing everything in your power to teach your daughter mannerisms, proper mannerisms, standards, values, self-respect, when she goes to visit with her father, just know he's going to undo everything you taught your daughter. And not only that, he's going to triangulate his own daughter with his girlfriends and baby mamas. If you don't think Diddy triangulates Chance against her twin sisters, it just ain't came out yet. Those twin sisters are mean girls. They behave like mean girls. I said it. I speak truth, and there's nothing nobody could do about it because I can read the room, and this man is a big time abuser. He doesn't love anybody, not even his children. I can assure you he plays Chance against the twins, and he plays them against just to maintain a secret competition. And those of you who have a narcissistic father, y'all know I'm telling the truth. If your daddy ever got married, he remarried, or he has a new girlfriend or a new baby mama, and that new woman dislikes you, you're his daughter, and she's acting weird towards you, that's because daddy is triangulating you behind your back with his new woman. He's got her feeling a type of way that you have his heart, and he wants you and her to compete for his love and affection. Trust me, Diddy plays these types. He did it with Cassie. Cassie said she got jealous. He was playing Cassie against Kim, Kim against J-Lo, his baby mama Misa against Sarah, Sarah against Kim. Diddy is a mastermind behind triangulating women against each other. And if you think he hasn't done it with his own daughters, we just ain't heard it yet. And I'm telling you now, he has. He probably told the twins to stay at home. He's going to take Chance out tonight. Then he got in front of the camera and he's sizing Chance up. And I'm sure the twins saw it. This man plays a lot of games with women and pits them against each other. So just know, when a man is a narcissist, he will objectify his daughter and treat her like a side chick. Go watch the video and tell me if I'm lying. Watch how he looks Chance up and down like she's a piece of meat. It's uncomfortable to watch. And Chance looks a little uncomfortable. She looks, that's, how women speak out of nervousness. Cassie was the same way. She reminds me of Cassie. She has Cassie's mannerisms to me, but it's like a nervous, just agreeing with him out of nervousness. That's what Chance gives me with her father. But I can feel there's like an uneasy tension. She loves her daddy, but she knows daddy has a whole double life. And she's just compliant and obedient to go along to get along because she doesn't want to piss daddy off. And then she's got to deal with the twins. We don't know what the twins have said and done to her behind closed doors, if they've bullied Chance. And I'm sitting back with my popcorn. I'm calling this ahead of time. And when I predict stuff about these celebrities, y'all call me crazy. And then months and years later, the shit comes out and everybody comes back apologizing to me. I be dead on when I call shit out for what it is. When I see the shit, I can't unsee it. I'm going to call it out. And I don't give a fuck who gets mad or triggered. Only people that get mad at my videos are the toxic, narcissistic, sociopathic ones, because I be on the money and they mad that I'm exposing this information. But if you have a daughter like I do, and you want her to be informed and well educated on what narcissistic abuse is, watch my videos, and you make your daughter watch my videos. Teach them early. Preteens, teach them everything about these manipulators, because they destroy women, they destroy families. This man does not care about his daughters. He uses them and pimps them out. I said what I said. Have a blessed day. As of recent, I've been doing videos discussing Sean, Puff Daddy, Diddy, his children, and how they are processing this whole trial, the RICO case and what have you. I do believe wholeheartedly that Diddy is a narcissistic sociopath, psychopath. His behavior is egregious and disgusting and repulsive. However, I believe he specifically groomed each of his children differently. And I'll explain that in another video, but I want to focus on the twins right now. I believe these young ladies, and I'll be very careful because they're still children to me, even though they're 18. I believe he's groomed these young ladies to be narcissistic as well. His other daughter, Chance, I find her more softer, empathetic. She's a very sweet girl. She's in college now. I just don't get the same type of energy from Chance as I do from these young ladies. They seem like they're very vain, very into their looks. You can't sit with us. We're the mean girls in high school. We're the cheerleaders. We're better than you. That's the type of energy that I get from these young ladies. And that's their father groomed them to be that way. They look like him. I don't even think they look like their mother, Kim Porter. May she rest in peace. They have her physique. They have her color, her mannerisms, but they look like Puffy in the face. They look like their father. Now, this picture here, this is their high school senior prom. This was the other night. And I want to put emphasis on the color of their dresses. Look at this shade of red. Now, where have you seen this particular shade of red before? I'm going to get y'all to think deeply, because I see things from a spiritual standpoint. A lot of people think I'm crazy, but I have a prophetic type of gift. And I just be reading a room spiritually. I be seeing shit and spotting shit that people just cannot pick up. But this photo here, I'm going to get y'all to think. Remember, their father is a full-blown malignant narcissist. Okay? And we're watching him spiral in court. He's tried to control Cassie even inside of the courtroom. And put his defense lawyers up to asking certain questions. Like, he wants to be in control of everything. He's losing it because he can't control anything in that courtroom. But he does have control over his children. And that's why the children are showing up to court. Because I'm sure if they don't show up, they don't get no money. Okay? And he has a very strong hold on these twins. Now, the color of their dress, this shade of red, is very popular in the celebrity world. It is a ritual color. It is the color of blood. Their father's last album, what color is he wearing? He's sitting in a red chair. He's wearing all red from head to toe, and the complete background is red. This exact shade of red. How many halftime shows have we seen celebrities wear this shade of red? Remember, Alicia Keys wore this shade of red when she was performing with Usher, Rihanna. We've seen it on Beyonce. When Beyonce was present this year, I'm getting y'all to think, ooh, baby, I'm getting y'all to think this is a ritual color. This color is symbolic in the celebrity world in Hollywood. Okay, I believe it has something to do with a secret code amongst the celebs. Okay, the color of blood is ritual, it's demonic. But who remembers, was it the Grammys a couple months ago? Who presented Beyonce with Country Album of the Year? Taylor Swift. And what color dress was Taylor Swift wearing when she presented Beyonce the award? Please follow me. I swear, I'm not crazy. Listen, I just see shit in a different way, y'all. I see it differently. Now, how are we going to connect this with Diddy and his daughters? Diddy being behind bars and his daughters are outside going to prom wearing this particular shade of red. He doesn't have control of that courtroom. Even his defense lawyers, they're doing their best. And I'm sure he's told them, well, say this and say that. And they've tried to advise him, no, we need to do this and we need to, because Diddy has severe control issues, but he can control his children. I'm sure he told his girls to wear this color. I want to introduce you to the term dog whistling. What exactly is dog whistling? Well, when it comes to a malignant narcissist, a narcissist will speak in code. They'll use certain terminology, things that other people will not pick up on, but they know that their victim or a certain set of people will understand the code. So when I say dog whistle, he told his daughters to wear this shade of red for a reason. Even though he's physically, I'm sure he said, Dad wishes I could be there for y'all prom. I'm so sorry. I'm going through all this. I love you. You know what? But you know what? Wear this shade of red. I think y'all should wear red to the prom. This is Diddy telling his daughters over the phone what color. You don't think they don't talk to their daddy on the phone? You don't think he has any involvement over what they're doing? You don't think he's going crazy because he can't control or see what his children are doing on the outside? All he has is the phone to communicate with them. I'm sure he had some involvement with what type of dress and what color the girls were going to wear to their prom. The moment I saw this photo, I said he is dog whistling, because this shade of red is symbolic in Hollywood for demonic rituals. So I feel he's communicating using his children to a certain set of people. I don't know if he's trying to beg for mercy. I don't know if he's trying to, use a secret code and like, look, get me out of this mess. I don't want to be here. I'll do whatever y'all tell me to do. I don't know. I just feel this is a form of dog whistling. These young ladies are wearing this shade of red because their father is trying to use them as a pawn to communicate with a certain person or persons. Call me crazy. This is how I see it. We can argue all day. Diddy is a narcissist, and this is what narcissists do. And when they do not have control over what they used to have control, like just imagine how crazy he's going, knowing he can't control his children, his home, his money. The little bit of control he has is with his lawyers strategizing the defense and his children talking to them over the phone. If you don't think he had any involvement over their choices in their prom dress and the color, he's speaking in code. These young ladies are wearing a shade that only Hollywood understands. Let that marinate. Y'all tell me what you think. I think Diddy is totally dog whistling and trying to send a message to somebody. Y'all let me know.